Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This side Priya Bhatia. And in this specific video, I will be discussing another amazing, you can say, interview questions with respect to machine learning part, right? Again, if you remember, few days back, I have uploaded a video of conquering pandas interview questions where I have solved live itself that how basically we will be able to tackle the problems of pandas data frame and what are the new functions we can apply to execute the problem statement and will be able to pass all the test cases. Many students like that kind of a video and personally ping me as well that these videos are really helpful for them in order to crack the interviews. So now I'm putting more videos with respect to that similar aspect where you will see that few of the videos I will be taking for the YT members specifically, which are the medium and hard level problems of LeetCode. And those problems will only be opened if you have a subscription of LeetCode. So I have already taken that, and I'm sharing the solutions for that part also only to the YT members. So if you are someone who wants to see the end-to-end flow, please you can go and explore about the membership program of our channel. But apart from that, I am also releasing a free content where I am solving the easy level questions also. So let's try to start our today's discussion where we will try to majorly focus on first part of pandas interview questions in the LeetCode platform, and I will try to again solve it live, and I think that will really help you all to understand the flow, that how basically in the interviews also we will be able to tackle these kind of problems. So without wasting any time, let's get. So now, as you can see on the screen that, we are solving essential for pandas interview questions, right? And there are multiple questions which are of premium category, and definitely I will try to solve all of these problems as I have a subscription of that. So it is open in my platform, but it won't be open in your platform, right? You have to purchase a subscription for the same, but I would suggest there is no need as I'm solving it step by step and uh, telling you all the approach as well. So I hope that would be really helpful for you all. For now, we will be just focusing on the very first module of our session, which is data filtering. So let's get started with the very first question that we have. Now here you will observe one thing, that these problems we can solve via the SQL commands also, and these problems will be solved via the pandas queries also. So in our sessions, our focus is to apply a pandas queries, right? Because we want to gain expertise with respect to the pandas framework in our ML part, in our Python module part. So it's very, very important, as you know, for all the projects that we will be covering up in ML. Pandas is a very important framework. So by solving these questions, I believe 30 questions, we will be able to gain an expertise more about the framework, that how basically in the interviews questions will be asked from us and how basically we need to tackle those problems, right? So let's focus on our very first section, which is the data filtering section, and let's see how the kind of problems we will be having in this part. So you can see that here we will be having a table of world where they have given a separate column names like name, continent, area, population, and GDP. Okay. They have specified name as the primary key. I hope everyone knows what is the meaning of a primary key. It's a, you can say, unique key which is available in the entire database that we have, right? Where by default, not null constraint is applicable, means you cannot take any null value in that primary key itself. Now, what they're saying that each row of this table gives information about the name of a country, the continent it belongs to, its area, the population, and its GDP value. What we have to do, let's try to understand that part. So what they're saying, a country is big if it has an area of at least 3 million, okay? Or it has the population of at least 25 million. It's amazing. So they have given two constraints, and if any of these two constraints are applicable, then they're saying that the country will be qualified as a big country. Okay. You need to write a solution to find name and population of area of the big countries. You need to return the result table in any of the order. For example, here, if you can see, input is given to us, and as we can see for the population part, yes, there are two countries I would see where the population is more than 25 million, right? And area, because they're saying or constraint, by saying that it means they're trying to convey ki any one of the constraints should be applicable, then also we will be able to print the result. So I think the question is clear. Now we can solve this question via SQL command also. If you want to work upon SQL, you just have to change this to MySQL. But for now, see, I have done that also. It's very simple query. We have to select name, population, area, and this is the constraint, where close. But the things will get complicated when we will work with the data frame. So let's work with the data frame for these specific videos, so that we will be able to get an idea that how can we apply these filtering operations in the pandas framework as well. So now what I am looking for is world of, you can say, we have two constraints, right? So what we can do, we can just write the constraints. So we can say the first constraint is world dot area, we can say, should be bigger than 3 million. Or we are saying that world dot population should be bigger than 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million. And then if any one of the constraints will be applicable, because we are having this or constraint, in that case, we are looking for 3 columns to be printed. One is the name, another one is the population, another one is the area. So name, population, and the area. And what we can do is, I think we can directly return this solution, and I believe we will be able to get the result. Let's try to check this. And yes, it is accepting the result. Now let me try to submit this as well. And here you can see that we are somehow getting the wrong result. Why is that so? If you will just try to focus here, I think they're talking about a term as at least. What is the meaning of at least? That we should take equal to also into consideration. That either the area should be equal to exactly 3 million or bigger than that, or the population is exactly 25 million or bigger than that. Now let's try to run this again, and I think now the problem of that test case was resolved. Yes. Now let's move to the second question, where they are saying recyclable and low fat products. Okay, let's try to see. What they are saying is you have to write a solution to find the ID of products which are both low fat also and recyclable also. So you can see that we will be having a NM as a category where the answer is either yes or no. And what we want to see is the product ID, which is somehow having both of the things as yes. Okay, so what I can see is that we have to apply somehow a constraint where we have to write a AND condition now, not the OR. Always remember, these are the logical operators where when you're applying OR, it means that any one of the conditions should be true. And when you're applying AND, it means that you have to make sure both of the constraints are correct or true, right? So what we can do is, let's try to filter this part as well. How can we do that? We can say products of, again, I can write a constraint, low underscore fats. I want this should be equals to yes. And I want another constraint also, which is recyclable, as well as this also to be yes. And if both of them are yes, what we are expecting as a result is the product ID. That's it. I think that's the only output which we are looking here, product ID. Now, when you store this inside the products, definitely it will become a series, because you are trying to opt only single column, which is product ID. So what we can do is, we can do one thing. Either we can convert it. Let me first of all try to showcase you whether this is working fine or not. Let's try to do one thing. Let's return this products, right? And let's see what we are getting as a result. So here you can see low underscore fats. I think this is the column name. Low underscore fats, recyclable. recyclable and low underscore fats. Let's try to run this. Why it is showcasing that as not defined? Oh, there is one issue. We should mention it as products dot low fats, right? Same thing we have to do for the, because to access the column, the table name or the data frame name is required. It is fine. So if, why it is fine, let me just try to first of all submit this. Why it is fine? Because if you will take a single bracket here, then it will showcase the error, because the conversion will be done in the form of a series. In that case, single dimension. You can see it is showcasing the result as a series. So to convert it into a 2 dimensions, let's do one thing. That's what I have done. Convert it into a 2D by taking 2 brackets, and then the things will be done. Right? I hope you all know that how basically you will be able to check that what is the kind of a dimension your data holds. Just check the closing and the opening brackets, and that will clearly give you the information of your type of a data, whether it's a 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, and so on. If it is a 1D, that is something which we call as a series data structure in the pandas. I hope it is pretty much clear to everyone, right? Let's move to the third question now. It's an interesting one. Customers who never order. So here we have given 2 tables, customers and orders, okay? And what they're saying is that we have an ID and a name in the customers table, and in the orders table, we have an ID and the customer ID available. Makes sense? So what they're expecting is that give us the names of those customers who have never ordered. For example, you can see third customer has ordered and Joe has also ordered. So there are 2 customers, which is Henry and Max. They have never ordered, and that is why you can see as an output we're getting the answer as Henry and Max. Makes sense? Makes sense. So how basically we will be able to solve this specific problem? In pandas, I think you all must be aware that we have a function of is in. So what I can do is I can say customers of ID, customers of ID, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that available? So I will call the function name is in. Is it available in the orders table of, I would say, customer ID? In the orders table of customers ID, because this is the foreign key, right? If it is available, it will give me the display of those IDs. For example, 3 is available, 1 is available. What I am looking forward is the customers who never order. If let's say my question is that you have to display the results of those customers who have ordered, then I think this query is fine. But what I want is who never ordered. So what I will do is I will just do one thing smartly here on top of this to apply a negation operator. So what I will be able to get is the equation of the customers who never order. And I want the display of all of those customers. So I can just put it inside a data frame. And now in this specific data frame, what I'm looking forward is the name of the customer. So let's try to store it in one data frame. And in this DF, what I want is a name, right? Is a name. So from here itself, we can get it. I want a name. Okay. Let's try to see how our output looks like, and then maybe let's return the name itself and let's see what is the output we will be able to achieve here. Orders is not defined. Did you mean orders? I think yes, it's correct. It's a case sensitive. So let's change it to orders itself. Let's run this again. And now you can see somehow wrong output. The only reason is because in the, you can say main header, the output which we are having is name and expectation is customers. So what we have to do is we have to rename this, okay? So we have one function called as rename. I think in my previous discussion also I have shared with you this function. And here we can mention columns in the form of a dictionary. We have name as the already defined data frame column. And what I want is now the customers here. So if I'll just run this and store it inside a df, I think now it should work fine. Let's see this and let's try to submit this. Perfect. Perfect. Now we will be able to get the result perfectly fine. Now let's move ahead to the next interesting question that we have, which is the question number 4. Makes sense, makes sense. I hope till so far, whatever questions we have covered up, you are also, doing the code work with me in your own platform of LeetCode and practicing with me. And wherever you are facing any trouble, just pause a video and try to recheck where you're going wrong, right? You can see in my scenario when I am also solving, in between I am facing some sort of trouble, getting some wrong output, seeing the error, then rectifying it again. That is how basically everyone is learning, right? So let's try to see this problem also. What they are saying is, we have an article views table where article ID is there, author ID is there, viewer ID is there, viewer date is there. There is no primary key in this table, okay? We have a columns available with the unique values. The table may have duplicate rows. Each row of this table indicates that some viewer viewed an article on some date, okay? Note that equal author ID and viewer ID indicates the same person. So you need to write a solution to find all authors which viewed at least one of their own article. Okay? It means that what they're expecting from us at the end of the day is that wherever there's the same author ID and viewer ID, right? That author is reading his own article or viewing his own article. That is what we have to figure it out. So here you can see 7 is the answer and 4 is the answer. So you can see 4 and 7 is the result. That's true. What they're saying, return the result sorted by ID in ascending order. So we have to make sure that if let's say we are saying 7 and 4 is the answer, then we should print that result in the manner like 4 should come up front and then 7 should come, means in the ascending order. So what is the constraint we will apply here? Think over it, just pause the video. I think the constraint, which as far as I can see, is that wherever there is a match of author ID and viewer ID. So what we can do, we have a views table available. Inside that, we can do one thing. We can say views of dot author underscore ID. If it is equal to views dot viewer underscore ID, like wherever there is a match, it will try to give me all those records. Inside that, I'm just looking for single column, which is the author ID. So you can display me only that specific column in a data frame. And I will store that maybe in a DF again. Okay. Now, once I will be able to get the author ID, so I will be able to get the result as 7 and 4 and 4, because 2 times there is a duplicacy. But what I'm looking for is a unique set of records, because I want to see just 7 and 4. I want to drop the duplicates. So in the last session, again, we have covered up, there is a function called as df.drop underscore duplicates. And then we have a subset as ID, or you can say author ID. And we will keep first value as the result. And if now just I will showcase you how our DF will looks like. Let's see that. Author ID is not defined. Why it is saying like this? Okay, now you can see we have a author ID 7 and 4, duplicates are not there. If you will not enter this statement now, just check it out again. What is happening is you will be having a duplicates also 7, 4 and 4, because 4 and 4 is repeating 2 times, where author is viewing his, you can say, own, I would say, letter, right? Okay, article. So what we have done is we have dropped the duplicates. That is good. That is good. But still there is a problem in this code. What is that? The output header should be same. One thing which you will observe, that when you will start exploring this platform and whenever you will start, doing the code part on this platform, That is something which you will find it very, very important, that the test cases will pass only when you will be having the exact same match in the expectation and the uh, output part, right? Wherever there is a mismatch, it will show the error. So now what we can do here is simply one thing. We need to rename the column, right? So I think we can do that. df is equals to df dot rename. And what I can do here is I can do one simple thing. Columns is equal to, and here we will part a dictionary where we will be having a already available author underscore id, and this is id, right? So let's run this code. Still there is a wrong answer. Why is that so? Because we have not done this part. We need to return the table in a sorted manner. Okay. So df is equals to df dot sort underscore values we have as a function name. Inside that, what we want is how we want the sorting by id, and there is, I think, one parameter as ascending, which we supposed to make it true. Let's try to now see this. It is working fine now, right? Perfect, perfect. Now I think this is the first part of the session where I have covered up data filtering. Now in the next part, I will be cover up the second module of this interview series, which is the string methods. So I will see you all in the upcoming session. So now I hope that you will be able to get an amazing insight of the very first section of our Pandas interview questions. I will very soon come up with the second part of the video where I will be solving the further second module of Pandas interview questions on LeetCode. So please stay tuned, and please make sure that you will hit like button, share this video with each and every one, and do let me know in the comment section also that whether you find these videos helpful for you or not. Accordingly, I will, keep on continuing uploading my content. With this, happy learning to all. Bye bye everyone, and I'll see you all very soon.